Okay, so we found out that we can't do the 1, 4, 5 chords in the key of E, but that's okay because we can get the E chord. Now let's look at D. Okay, so that we've got that settled there. We didn't really get enough there. I should have grabbed a little bit more showing that in the key of E, because I was fair enough to show the 7 that we couldn't get in the key of G. So I'll fix that chart with that E there. Good thing we caught that. Good catch there. So now in the key of D, we have a D-shaped D, a G-shaped G. So we got D, we got G, and an A-shaped A. Let's see if we can get all that on the open string between the fret nut and the first dot. So we got D, we got G, and we got A. Perfect. So now remember, we were lucky with the G shape. Okay, we were lucky with the A shape that we could get the A, we could get the D, we could get the E shape. E is the only chord that we cannot get the C-shaped E. Okay. Why was I talking about this? This is interesting. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to finish my coffee a little bit to soothe my throat. Things bother me, so I want to make sure they work. So we're going to get to the next chart here. These are the keys, and the keys all have their own little string circle here. Okay, so the A would have it A there. This is the A string circle, 5, 6 on the bottom. Now remember, 5, 6 is going to go, and it's going to go over to the 7 pattern, just like we're playing an S3L pattern. So I can do it out the capo here. In a D shape, it'd be the S3L pattern starting from 2, 3, 4 would go it's a Dorian scale. So I got to come over for that 7. So remember that when we're building the string patterns, that we're going to come over for that 7 unless it's warped over as it is with C. So this diagram is kind of misleading. It should be kind of over like this. That kind of thing, where they're lined up like that. My bad there. My bad. Let's zoom in on it. Once we lock it in. So now we've got our building blocks again. We've got our S2L here, and we've got our S3L there. Stack of 3 long. Alright, these are the building blocks of pentatonic scales. We've got a little square here. For pentatonic, there's a little square here and a tall square there. A stack of 3 short and a stack of 2 long. That's how you build pentatonic scales. The 7 and the 4 you add for diatonic. So in the S2L, you wouldn't have the middle ones. Okay. Let's move along, because we've got more information, ammo, if you will, to deal with the new stuff. Alright, so these are again, we're just reviewing the 4 charts, but we're going to go into yesterday's new chart and today's new chart. So here's the actual fretboards for the 5 keys. Okay, same thing. And so we've got our generic multi-key fretboard there. Sorry, it's getting warmer. I think I'm playing tiddlywinks with clouds and whatever. I warm up fast. Sometimes I just have to put a sweatshirt on for like 10 seconds. It's terrible. So maybe I'm just thinking too hard. This is why I keep this diagram handy, because this is our build. These are our building blocks. Okay, so with C, if C's on the bottom, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, and then 2, 3, 4. Remember, the 5, 6 is going to be lined up with the 2 goes to the 5. Okay, but if the 7 is going to be over here, it's going to be warped over. No matter where you start this diagram, that's why you don't see, this is all P4 tuning. Okay, no matter where you start the diagram, you're going to put the tuning warp somewhere. Start from 5, 6. It'd be 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5. Building exactly the way it is, 6, 7 root, but uh-oh, we got to warp over the 2, 3, 4. That gives us a D shape right there. So you can see right here it's a D shape. So the A shape would be starting from that G. I got a band-aid on. The D shape would be a D-shaped F there. C, F, A. Okay? So you put the warp appropriately. Whenever you hit this string here, you have to push it over to the right one, whatever the pattern is. So that's all this is saying, and it was a lot of work for me to make this chart and get the larger numbers, so I could only do the first 2 cage shapes here, because in this chart, reviewing, and then we went back to the old chart that I had, which was the smaller numbers. But in reviewing, what we want to do is the first cage gives us the string shape assignments. That's why I showed the no plays here, because you've got the basic string shape assignments just like last chart, right? Here's the short first cage string shape assignments. Let's see what E has there. See, now I'm showing them in E right here. So you can get the C-shaped B. 2 is the second of C now, so that of the key of E rather, that's the F sharp. It's F sharp B, and then key of E would be D sharp. F sharp B, D sharp. F sharp B, D sharp. Okay, so in the key of E, I can get it because I can actually go lower there. Whoops. I'm just trying to play it. I better look. Right there. So I'm lower than the fret nut there. It's a C-shaped B. By golly. So these are the actual key of cage fretboards. And remember that in the first, between the fret nut and the dot, the first dot, you can always play the actual chord there. So you can play your C, you can play your A, you can play your G. As a matter of fact, you can play all of them except for the E. You can't get that B-shaped B. So guitar charts, books, or whatever usually have a different shape B there. You know, you might have that weird shaped 7th chord, because it is the 5th there. It's the 5th quality. So that is C. It goes 1, 4, 5 here. It's a 1-shaped E. It's a shaped 4th, and it's a C-shaped 5th. So you know, instead of trying to get this thing, I can't really get it with the capo because it's in the way, but it's that kind of weird shaped chord where you got something like if I could do it in C, it'd be C,